Coach, if you want to give us a little preview of the season, we'll take questions after that.
Sure. I'm excited. I like the way you said we start on the 30th practice and we play on the 1st. That gives us one day. Now, we're practicing now. We got 3 40-minute practices per week. We're allowed 2 hours per week with the players. So we usually go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We get 3 practices in. So we're excited because I think the new freshman class is going to add a lot of excitement and energy to our team. I think that we have a goalie that we'll probably be talking about here real soon that was added to our roster as well. That gives us depth at that position as well. And I think coming off of last year, obviously we were very disappointed to not get a tournament bid, but there were a lot of positives to build off on what we did last year, and that's what we've been doing for the first part of the season. We're really excited and looking forward to playing a game here in a couple weeks. So,
Thank you. We have microphone holders at both sides. We'll start with the questions.
Okay, hi. Coach, I'm not sure if we've had the chance to talk to you since the Olympic announcement was made, but what does it mean to you to be coaching the team that's going to represent this country?
obviously, it's a great honor. I think the great part about it is I can remain coach here this year. It's not like I have to take a year off and go away. So I get to be the coach here for the year. I'm going to miss 1 week in November for a tournament that we have in Germany, and I'll miss just over 2 weeks for the Olympics in February. So that for me made it really exciting. But to get a chance to represent your country and be part of an Olympic team, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fan, it doesn't matter. You're part of the Olympics. And I've been lucky enough to be part of a couple or a few now, and really looking forward to the challenge because it's a new format with not NHL players playing in it this year. So there's some challenges on getting our roster together. But I think the one thing from a coaching perspective and from an American's perspective is I think our country has tremendous depth, and we have a lot of players that might not be familiar names when the Olympics start that will be part of our team, but are great hockey players that will represent us well and give us a chance to do very well at the Olympics. So I'm very excited about it and looking forward to that challenge as well.
Go ahead, Brian.
So it was all new last year. What are the challenges this year going into your second year with a number of players back, but also a pretty good-sized freshman class?
Well, I think this year's a little different, I guess, from respect from around college hockey. We're in a different position than we were last year. I think coming in last year, we were a team that didn't get a whole lot of national attention to be a threat to anybody. So I think we had to build that credibility and that respect back from college hockey. I think we had to do that for ourselves. So I think as the year went on, I'm pretty confident that we made a pretty good impression on college hockey. So this year is different. I don't know when the rankings come out. They'll probably come out real soon. There's been some pre-ranking things that have us somewhere between 8 and 12. So I'm sure we'll sit in that range. But the things that we have to look at from a challenging standpoint, our conference, the Big Ten, is strong as any conference in college hockey. So you add Notre Dame to that mix, who was a Final Four, Frozen Four finalist last year. You know Minnesota's in there. You know what Penn State's done. They're going to be a top 10 team as well. So we'll probably have 4 teams in the top 10 to start, another one in Ohio State right behind that, and a Michigan team that's going to rebound from what happened to them last year. So you're looking at a conference that's going to be extremely competitive. I think what we did last year gave us confidence that we belong in the same sentence or in the same, conversation about teams that could compete for a national title. And our job is to do the same thing we did last year, is to get better and improve each and every weekend, grow as a team. I think with the freshmen that we have added to our lineup, and again, the goaltender, we've been able to add depth at all positions, and I think that's going to give us the opportunity to have success. And I think it's important to realize that, last year was a step in the right direction, but it's still, there's a ways to go from, what I think that we can do as a program and as a team. And this will be a fun year, again, to get this thing rolling and to, hopefully get our building filled. I think the fans that have talked about how last year was and what an exciting team we had last year to watch and be part of, I think they'll be really excited when they're able to see our new players and what they add to our lineup as well.
Let's go right here first. Go ahead, Dan.
From those 40 minutes, a couple of days a week that you've been able to see, what have been your impressions? Who stood out? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, you hate to throw a whole lot of evaluations into 40-minute practices. I think the young guys who were here for, most of them were here for summer school, have had really nice transitions into the college hockey, at least the practice tempo and the pace that we want to play with. So the freshmen have done a really nice job of adjusting. Obviously, the goalie, I keep saying, I'll just say Kyle Hayton. He's an elite goaltender that we have on our roster that everybody's looking forward to watching, and he's looked strong in practice. So I think, we can't get too involved as coaches on trying to evaluate to make decisions on where they are as far as how they're going to help us at the start of the year. I know everybody that we brought in, we feel very confident are going to be big parts of our team. Most of them will get that opportunity right out of the gate, and some of them, as the year progresses, will have a bigger impact as we move forward. But energized, we got some skill, we got some fun guys, like I say, entertaining players in this group that will be fun to fall in love with as a fan and spectator, and certainly as a coach. I'm really happy with where we're at.
Go ahead.
Coach, you guys were obviously able to accomplish a lot last season. Now, in your second year, how good is it knowing that a lot of these guys know your coaching style now and can adapt quickly to that?
I think that was a great point by you. I think the one thing that we found out as coaches, and especially in the last 6 months since the end of last season, is the leadership group, and it has just been outstanding on how they've been able to prepare themselves to welcome the freshmen into it, to carry over into the summer training what we started last year. And last year when I got here, we named Luke Cunnan as a captain as a sophomore, and it was more of we didn't know our personnel very well. We didn't feel that might be something of a strength of our team. And as the year progressed, and as you see, we named 5 players to our captain, with Cameron Hughes and the other 4 guys as assistant captains. I think it shows and says a great amount about the character of the guys that we have that we weren't sure we had a year ago. And so that's all been positive. So I think what we did last year, and like you say, the players learning us, I think it's important from a coaching perspective that they get to know their coaches as much as it is important for us to get to know them. I think they understand what's expected of them. I think it's pretty clear on what our expectations are here as a program, and also on our style of play and what's expected of them every single night. So that's all gone well. We're really excited on the guys that are returning. Obviously, we did lose a few key players. But I also think the maturity of the guys that are returning will be able to fill the holes that those guys left.
Go ahead. We're here first.
Tony, with the departure of Luke Cunnan, is there offensively, is there a clear-cut scorer on your team right now?
Yeah, we got lots of players that I think will contribute offensively and get bigger numbers. I think the maturity, you look down the middle and you got Cameron Hughes, you got Trent Frederick, and you got Seamus Malone. Those are 3 pretty good centers that are great puck distributors and also can finish as well. So I don't think the offensive production will drop. It might be a little bit more spread out. Will Johnson's coming off a big year scoring goals. Wagner's another guy that can score goals. And I think some of our freshmen will come in and they're not going to replace Luke Cunnan and get 20-plus goals their freshman year. But I think they can add a lot offensively as well. So I think it'll be a little bit more spread out. But I think that offensively we have plenty of players that, I think we got 3 really skilled lines that all will be able to score and contribute consistently.
In these couple of weeks before practice officially starts, did you learn anything from what that was like last year that you took to apply differently this year, and how you're structuring that, or what you're focusing on with this group as opposed to last year?
Well, I think the things we tried to implement last year are in place, and I think that's a lot of the transition for freshmen coming in based on what they recognize through the upperclassmen, make it a lot easier for us. We were teaching 27 new players last year, what was expected of them, how to practice, the details of the system that we implemented. We did a lot of that last year. This year, it's different. Now we have 20 returning players that are able to be watched by our younger players. So I think it's been a little different on how we've approached it. I think the thing you got to try to recognize is we don't have a lot of time with them on the ice, so there's only certain things that are really important to the start of our season that we try to add, and you can't throw everything in there. You can't throw a forecheck neutral zone play, D zone cover. You can't throw 40 things at them because you want them to learn it all really fast. I think it's picking out the priorities of what you think your team is going to be, what's going to be the difference between your team and the rest of the team, and just try to make sure that they understand that. So we've done that. We've tried to identify what kind of team we're going to be and work on the area of play that we think will be something that'll help us be successful all year. So that's kind of what our introduction to our style of play has been through our first few practices.
Any further questions for Coach Granato? If not,
Good. Thank you,
thank
everybody.
Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.